Good morning, my people. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to talk a little bit about ensuring that you have an appropriate contract between those that you decide to partner with or engage in business with. So, I had recently watched Danielson's interview on the Honest Bunch podcast. And although I don't really follow Mark Angel that much, but I've seen a couple of um, the videos, the skits that were done with the little girl. She's now, I think, a teenager and she's 16 years old, as they said, Daniela. And I've seen it here and there. It, some of them were funny, but I don't really follow Mark Angel per se. But I know that he really became big, and they became big to a great extent. And the honest truth is that I don't even really know this Danielson guy, because obviously, like I said, I don't follow Mark Angel comedy like that. But based on his interview, got to find out a lot about him. He was part of the people that helped create the Mark Angel, what they are right now. He was part of the pioneers, part of the, people in partnership with Mark Angel. He even disclosed that even the angel attached to Mark's name, he was the person that suggested that name as well. So Mark Angel is now popularly known as a result of Danielson. And it so happened that Danielson helped a lot with the skits. The comedy was even featured in most of them. And based on the income, it was not really disclosed to him as much as they were making. And he was not getting paid his fair share. There are a lot of business deals and ongoing private conversation that he was not involved in, and it looks like he was lied to. And we have to say, I think sometimes, because you have not heard from the other party, you have to say allegedly, right? He was not giving his fair share. And I know that from if Mark Angel's videos are getting over 1 million views, he's getting a lot of money, but ignorance definitely will make you not demand your fair share. It was also disclosed that Daniela's parents too, obviously not well to do and not knowledgeable. I want to be careful as I use the word illiterate, right? For them, because at the end of the day, sometimes people are just not knowledgeable. Illiterate looks like you're insulting them, but really they didn't know about what the contracts they were signing over. That Daniela, that was the face of Mark Angel comedy, she was not really giving her fair share as well, from what we're hearing or alleged, right? I kind of believe his story to a greater percentage, more than I believe that most of what he was saying was true. This is just my honest opinion, because I know, based on the culture of Nigerians, how they operate. I want to first say, and the Honest Bunch podcast did something very great, which they brought a lawyer as well to also sit in the conversation, and she was able to help, give some solid advice on how to go about establishing contracts. She said she helped a little bit, but I really need to say this because I watch a lot of court shows based in America. Watch a lot of people's courts as well. And I know one thing the judge always used to say on the people's court is that you just take a tissue paper, even if it's a tissue paper, just sign something, just note an agreement between both parties. even if it's a text message. Just note the agreement. So you are sending a text message between yourself and the other person. Just document an agreement, and the other person has to also agree in the text message. You don't know when it will come handy. I believe the lawyer on the podcast as well was also noting that in the beginning stages, when you start a partnership with somebody, every recording or everything that goes into how that business is set up, go ahead and record. Go ahead and keep on recording, keeping a record of those memories, because it might play out in your favor in the long run when it comes to a dispute on how profit is supposed to be shared, or how the agreement was established, who the agreement is with, what the profit sharing ratio is, and all that. I feel like Nigerians really need to learn this important fact. An agreement doesn't need to be exclusively written by a lawyer. It doesn't need to be. An agreement between both parties, right? As simple as just sending a letter and signing it, or even the person responding back saying agreed, is an agreement. And I am not a lawyer, but I know that those types of agreements are upheld. Yes, some agreements need to be further established with a lawyer's help, right? Because sometimes it helps in a case of partnership, it helps with being fair, right? Especially when it involves a lot of people, or when one person brought more of the resources into the business, and there really needs to get down to a very solid understanding about every aspect of the partnership, right? But in those beginning stages, when you are going into it, you have to get to that point where, even as simple as whatever we earn from this business, online, in kind, through donations, or if anybody calls us for any performance, whatever the case may be, is shared 30-70, 50-50, 40-60, 20-80, whatever the profit sharing ratio is. Note it down. Note it down. Many of the complaints we end up making at the back end and feeling like we're cheated comes into play because on the front end, those basic agreements were not made. And it's happening to many Nigerians. And sometimes you can't fight it in the court of law because there was nothing ever agreed. So what Denilson was saying in his video, to a great extent, I don't know how far they can go to see, since they never even really signed anything, what argument can he really make that he deserved more than what he was given? In the court of public opinion, it's not fair. However, in a law court, it's based on what you agreed to. Even the monies that Mark Angel started giving him at the back end that he was collecting, that also establishes an agreement. When you go to the court of law and they see a trend in a payment being 200,000 every month for you, it could also show that you consented to receive that type of amount of money, even though at the end of the day they can't find any written documentation that supports that payment as well. So even be careful with what you end up accepting as income from any partnership that you are given, because it can be established that you consented and you accepted it, which was an agreement as well. Put everything in writing, even if it's with your husband, even if it's between husband and wife, brother, sister, cousins, nephews, whoever, friends, so that in the long run things can easily be sorted out without dragging things. Once there's an establishment of a contract, nobody needs to argue with what is clear. Nobody can argue with what is clearly documented and written out. Nobody can clearly argue to what you agree, except you signed a contract under duress. Then in the law court, it can be established that those type of contracts cannot be upheld. Write it down. Another aspect of Denilson's video that I wanted to tackle as well is the case of a culture of Nigerians cheating one another. I recently was discussing with a friend, and I was just talking about how the Chinese people are very innovative. They have a society that is very productive. Their society is a manufacturing society in general, right? And based on economics of scale, they are able to sell things at a cheaper rate, and their economy is booming. And I started thinking out loud and talking with my friend, and I said that I feel like Nigerians are very, very, energetic. They are willing to work. They are also productive, but I feel like it's the government, a corrupt society or a corrupt government, that has positioned us to where we are, that we are not at the same stage as the Asians because of our corrupt leaders. And he said no. He said the average African man or woman is lazy. They are where they are because of laziness. They are where they are because of their mindsets. The mindset to also cheat one another. And I was like, really? And I had to take a step back and start listening to him. And he said that if you open a business in Africa in general, and I'm not talking about all African countries, because specifically, he was giving the example of Nigeria. If you open a business in Nigeria, the normal worker that is working for you might cheat you and run your business aground because they will not manage your business well. The normal worker is looking for what to take from you. The normal worker or an average worker is thinking about how they will do less and get more from you. They are not they are very lazy. And I started thinking, and I said, it's true. Nigeria, we have a culture of cheating one another. In Denilson's story in general, what was the crux of the major conversation was him being cheated, and Mark Angel always lying of receiving less than he was actually getting. Even when it got to a point where Denilson claimed that they were receiving at least $160,000, I'm not saying naira, dollars, monthly, it was still not disclosed. And Denilson was still getting less than 250,000 naira or less. How much is that really if you compare the chicken chain that he was getting to what they were actually receiving monthly? An average Nigerian is willing to cheat you. They are not honest. My sister once was telling me about how somebody was trying to help her get a job. And after she was able to scale through and get the job, the person came and was asking her, you owe me, oh. Wetin you fit do for your sister since I helped you, like, to tell you about the job. It's not like she actually even helped her talk to anybody per se or anything, but told her about the job and she was able to apply for the job. Most of the time where I stay in America, people help you all the time just get a job in general, or tell you about a job, recommend a job to you, but they're not looking for anything from you. But you get a job. I've heard this on countless occasions. Yeah, maybe it doesn't happen often, but why would you be asking for somebody to give you something because you help them get a job? You help them get something, you want something back from them in return. I had someone that I know, and I'll not disclose entirely. I had someone that I knew that was working in a civil service job, left the job without taking a vacation, and traveled for 2 weeks abroad. The manager knew that she did that, but she was still getting paid on taxpayers' money in Nigeria. These are the type of, I'm giving examples of the things that happen in our society. The average man on the road or even in the airport is looking for the $50, $100 they will pay, that you pay them. Look at the flooding that recently happened in Lagos and the video that was taken about street urchins telling people to pay to cross a road. The average Nigerian mindset is a cheating, collecting where they don't deserve, laziness. That mindset needs to change. Who are the people in government? They come from society as well. If society doesn't change, the people in power will not change. We need to get it through our head. If the average man, a YouTube celebrity, quote and unquote, would cheat people to that extent, how much more your leaders? The leaders come from the society. This happens ever so often. That's why we're hearing stories of somebody sending money from abroad to their family members. I'm not saying a friend, or family members, supposed brother, sister, auntie, uncle, blood relation, to help them buy land, to help them build a home that they feel like when they finish, and they are done from the country that they went to abroad, they can come back home to their fatherland and retire and rest. And that person squanders the money. Someone you will feel like, hey. I remember that I wanted to change funds. I wanted to change funds back home. And I really needed somebody to quickly just give the naira, because I was going to send it in dollars. And before the person will convert the money to naira, it would take time. But we needed naira to pay for something that I needed urgently. The person came to me and told me, she couldn't do it. I should ask somebody else to quickly help her do it, or she will ask somebody else to quickly help her do it. This person was an in-law to me. And the person came and added maybe like 30,000 naira on top the money. She first said that, that she wanted the dollars like that, But the dollars, for her to give the naira portion, it cost 30,000 naira more than it was meant to cost. And I'm like, why? Why is it costing them? I didn't understand, because initially the person that was going to help me change it was going to change it for 30,000 naira less, and that was actually the exchange rate. So she was not lying to me. But this next person that was an in-law to me wanted to change it for 30,000 naira more. Yes, it might be a little bit of nothing to me, but I from what I was saying, I was seeing the mentality of cheating. Somebody about to cheat me because they felt like, oh, she's abroad and she's about to change money and she needs it urgently, so she won't question it. I said no. Going back to the average mindset of cheating, it happens everywhere. Somebody is looking for a way out. Somebody is looking for how to get much more than they ought to get from you. Somebody is willing to cheat you out of your labor. We do it to one another. We do it all the time. The circle keeps on going around and around and around. Except we change that culture of cheating. We sensitize ourselves against that culture of cheating. Nigeria is not going to change. It's not going to change. I'm telling you. Police will cheat you. Your leaders will cheat you. Civil servants will cheat you. Bank will cheat you. Restaurants will cheat you. Hotel will cheat you. Airport staff will cheat you. Taxi will cheat you. Bicycle will cheat you. So those were my 2 takes. And I'll end this video. At the end of the day, I want to reiterate and sound the alarm. An agreement doesn't need to be expressly written by a lawyer. Document it in a text message. Save it down. Don't delete it. Make sure. You don't know whether when that small business that you have, that you're partnering with someone, turns into something way more than you imagined. It might start small. Don't take for granted the days of small beginnings. Because when people go viral, they don't know. They don't know what appealed to the audience or what's my appeal. See this brain jotter dance that he's doing. Although he has already established his audience and established himself. But the dance, to me, I see the dance all the time and I'm like, what are these people doing? It doesn't appeal to me, but it has gone far. It has gone far. It's everywhere. It's not only Nigerians that are singing it. One of my friends from another country was just telling me recently about the dance and I'm like, wow, it has gone this far. You start something, you don't even know how it might end up. Document it. Send a simple text message to establish an agreement. Whatever comes out of this, because I brought XYZ, I am getting 60% of the income. Write it down on a piece of paper. Sign it. Get 2 people to sign it. Or if you are the one establishing it, get the other party to sign it. It can be simple words. It doesn't need to be complex words written by lawyers. You can take it up to be written by lawyers if you want it to be expressly stated. You have more complex things to divide and you need it to be spelled out more. Regardless of who the partnership is with, don't say it's because it's my wife, it's because it's my son, my children, my uncle, my auntie. It doesn't matter. And parents, please be careful what you sign on behalf of your children. Because it looked like Daniela was not giving her fair share. From what is alleged, because of what the parents were signing. They just want that immediate money. I wonder the lawyer that they brought to even help them discuss any of the profits, because the lawyer looks like he was uneducated. Because Denilson said there was a point in time that the parents took Mark Angel to the police station and there was a lawyer with them. And whatever they sorted out, they gave them some money. But it looks like that lawyer, I don't know what he was doing. Some lawyers are not trained, so be careful. And then the second aspect is a cheating culture. Nigerians, we need to stop cheating ourselves. If you are sitting down there cheating people, change your ways. Stop complaining about government if you yourself are a cheat. It starts from the society. The people we have in leadership are cheats as well. That's why we have leaders that reflect the society. And then we have sycophants who support those cheats because they are cheats as well. Whose state was it that they were recently showing on the news? I watched Arise News. Kogi State. The palliative, was it rice or gari, that they sent for free distribution, clearly said on the bag, not for resale. Do you know what they did? They changed the bag, started putting the gari or was it rice into a different bag so that they could redistribute it and sell it. Can you imagine our people? The people are crying of hunger. And then somebody takes something that the government has distributed and said, distribute this freely to the people. They are hungry. Somebody takes those bags and then resells it to the people. That happened during the NSAS when they found a warehouse that they were hoarding palliatives that were given for distribution, COVID palliatives. And one of the culprits now is in government. They said that she was sharing the palliative during a birthday party. Change the culture of cheating people. Change laziness culture. Nigerians are hardworking nonetheless. But sometimes we're hardworking in the wrong things as well. We're hardworking in cheating ourselves. We're hardworking in corruption. We're hardworking in finding alternative way out that are illegal. Nigeria, please, let's wake up. Thank you for listening to me. Please subscribe to my channel. If you gained anything out of my video, I would really like to make some lives, so I really need your subscription. So thank you very much, and you will hear from me in the near future. Bye.